BYD have just completed phase one of what would be the highest output car factory in the world. It's insanely big. But it turns out Tesla's new factory in Mexico is going to be possibly twice the size of the Gigafactory in Texas, making it by far the biggest car factory in the world. The figures are truly astounding. Now, why Tesla would need this much land, I don't know. I mean, they could probably build about 100 gigafactories on the land that they've actually bought. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. Great to see you. Thank you for tuning in. My name's Sam Evans, and I'm coming to you from Bangkok in Thailand. I'm usually based in Melbourne. Thank you to everyone who's supported the channel over the last 2 years. Well, not quite 2 years yet since we started the channel. Coming up to 2 years in a few months' time. Patrons, thank you so much. If you want to be a patron of the channel, that would be amazing. I'll put a link in the description below. Tesla's Gigafactory in Mexico, just announced a few days ago. It's not far from Gigafactory, Texas, which is currently the biggest automotive factory in the world. However, Gigafactory Mexico is going to be, turns out, a hell of a lot bigger. More details have been released by the Mexican government. They seem to be just more than willing to disclose anything if reporters ask them. The land spans 4,200 acres. Now, Tesla have bought that from private owners in Mexico. No one knows what they paid, but 4,200 acres. That is just astronomical. Now, this land was bought by Tesla in Nuevo Leon in Monterrey. That's 68% more land than Tesla's Gigafactory location in Austin, Texas, which is put on 2,500 acres. So 2,500 acres for the Gigafactory in Texas, 4,200 acres for Mexico. I've got no idea why it needs to be that big, but maybe they're planning on doing some other things there, possibly building accommodation for employees, maybe building some kind of like recreation facility for employees. Don't know. But it is interesting. I mean, 4,200 acres. I don't know why they would possibly need that kind of space. Anyhow, Reuters says that the mayor of Santa Catarina said the new electric vehicle envisioned for the site will be revealed by Tesla. It's basically the Model 2. It's the more affordable EV. No one knows what it looks like, though. That's what I want to know. I want to see it. I have seen some more spy photos of, well, some photos of what looks like a Model 2 in China. Now, I don't know if they're legit, but could be. It's possible. But the scale of this investment is astronomical. Now, for context, BYD have just invested about $2.5 billion building their Gigafactory in China. They plan on spending just over $4 billion when they increase the size in the stage 3 part of that project. It's going to be able to produce 1.4 million electric cars per year. That would make it the biggest producing factory in the world. Now, they're not at that stage yet. But I think it's pretty obvious that this new factory in Mexico is going to be able to produce even more than that, which is crazy. But it's amazing to see BYD and Tesla, how much money they're just pouring into new gigafactories. If you're a legacy automotive company, you've got to be looking at this thinking, these are new factories, new facilities, new production lines with all the latest generation robotics in order to build EVs much more efficiently than what we're doing, than what automakers such as, well, Toyota are doing. Toyota don't even have an EV production line, but you get my point. And you have to look at that and think, that's our competition. How do you compete with that? How do you compete with gigacasting? I don't know. The report says a senior Mexican official said the output of the factory will initially be 1 million cars per year. But I think, based on other reports I've been hearing, that Tesla is aiming for 2 million vehicles per year from this factory. Could they build more? Of course, a hell of a lot more. Now, one thing to keep in mind, and this is something that I've overlooked, having a good look at the IRA, the Inflation Reduction Act. Yes, cars built in Mexico do qualify. So if you buy an EV from Tesla or from anyone else, and it's built in Mexico, it does still qualify for the Inflation Reduction Act subsidy. So if Tesla decides to build batteries in Mexico and to build the cars in Mexico, then they will qualify for not only the IRA, the $7,500 incentive, but also for additional battery incentives, meaning Tesla would also save probably about $2,000 to $3,000 per car for those battery manufacturing incentives. Now, of course, having the factory in Mexico and the fact that it qualifies for these incentives already, then you're getting much cheaper labor. You're building it on the world's biggest location. Well, add to that you're building it with a next generation platform that should cost maybe 50% more, possibly, than Tesla's current platform. And you've got a car that will be probably the most efficiently produced EV in the world. That's what I think, anyhow. Let me know what you think in the comments. The new factory is going to be enormous. And Tesla plan on increasing their investment. So the initial investment they're putting into the factory will be $5 billion US. That's a lot of money, $5 billion US to build a factory in Mexico. But then the word is, from the Mexican government says, Tesla will then move from spending $5 billion to doubling that investment to $10 billion. When this factory is completed, I believe it will be the world's biggest factory, biggest electric car factory, biggest car factory, period. It's going to be able to produce EVs at a massive scale, the kind of scale that the world has probably never ever seen before. This is an interesting development, I think. I think this factory will give Tesla the ability to scale massively at a very, very efficient cost. What are your thoughts? Do you think this is a good idea? Would you consider buying a vehicle made here at this factory if it was, say, reasonably priced? Let's say something like the size of a Toyota Corolla for $25,000 US. Plus then you get the $7,500 EV incentive. Would you consider buying something like that? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.